Okay, let's do a quick demo of subthemes in Drupal. So we're going to use two projects in order to accomplish this. We're going to use the switch page theme project, and we're going to use path auto. So we have a test Drupal site here, and I'm just going to log into this. Admin is the user and password. And from here, we can actually go and we can start creating some menu links and then download some other themes and use different themes for different subsites based on the path. So let's first get these two projects. I can download the switch page theme by just copying the value from the URL. If I go over to my Lando project, I can do a Lando drush enable of the module and say yes. So this will go and download it from Drupal.org and enable it on the website. Okay, great. And then I'm also going to just go and grab Path Auto here. Do the same thing. We'll download and enable the module. It's also grabbing some dependencies here, so it looks like we need token and C tools, so it's grabbing those modules and downloading and enabling those as well. Great. So now if we go back to our site, we actually have some of this configuration here. But before we hop into that, let's create a new content structure. Let's just call this, under content types, let's call one Subsite 1 page, and let's just look at the fields. We'll just leave it at the default, so we'll say the body field. Okay, great. And then let's also go into our content types again, and we'll add Subsite 2 page, and we'll do the same thing. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now, under configuration, since we added those modules, we should have the path auto module, which under our URL aliases will give us this patterns tab. And so now we can create automatic URL patterns. So for instance, if we create content, we might get something like, right now, actually we can go through that and show what that looks like. So if we were to create a new basic page content, call it test, and we'll save this as published. You might get a URL that looks something like this, node 1. You can go and you can edit this, and that's fine. So we could come in here and we could change the URL path to say custom title, but content editors would have to know to go and change it to the custom title every time they create content. Now keep in mind, node 1 still exists as the path, and custom title is just the alias for the actual content, so both of those should work. But what we want to do is we want to create a pattern, so when you create a certain type of content, that you automatically get the pattern up here. So we're doing that with Path Auto, which we downloaded to our project. So we're going to create a new Path Auto pattern, and we're going to say when we're grabbing content and of subsite page 1, we want to call it subsite 1. And then we want to use a token. In this case, we're going to grab the node title. So if we come in here, you can see the available tokens here. We can come down to the title, and we'll just put that pattern here. So it's going to convert the title into like a normal path. So like it will lowercase things and it will replace spaces with hyphens. But basically, we'll make sure every time we add subsite 1 content, it will give us this initial pattern here plus the title converted into a URL. So let's do this, and we'll call this subsite 1, and we'll save that, and we'll do the same thing for subsite 2. So we'll create another content pattern. We'll give it the pattern of subsite 2 node title, and we'll make sure that new content of subsite 2 gets created with this pattern, and we'll just give it a label so we know what it is. When we want to manage this, we'll call it subsite 2, and we'll save it. So now, if we were to go into our content tab and create new content, and we were to add content of type subsite 1, it's a home page test, and then if we save this and publish it, you notice automatically we have this URL pattern here. So we have the subsite 1 in the home page here, and if we were to create content of subsite 2, we would get the other thing. So call this home page again, and we'll save it, and this pattern is subsite 2 homepage. So we're setting up our site to be able to kind of publish regular pages to a subsite. Now, if we want to go and create a way to switch themes based on the path of the website, so we could basically say, okay, if we're in this type of URL pattern, give us a different theme, or if we are in subsite 1, give us a different theme. And they should both be probably different than the main theme here. So how do we go about doing something like that? Well, if we go to our configuration, and if I look for theme, there is the switch page theme here. And now you'll notice that we have a couple of themes installed by default, but we might want to go and look at Drupal themes and download a completely different looking theme, just so we can like distinguish between these really easily. So I don't know anything about these themes, but we could always take a look and say something like, let's just grab this theme here, and we'll just copy this. We'll download this as well using Drush. So Lando Drush, enable this theme here. So it's downloaded and enabled that, and back on our website, if we were going to take a look here, we could actually go to our appearance section of our website. We could say, okay, it looks like this theme was downloaded, and now it's something that we could set as our default. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is actually, we're going to set this as our subsite theme. So if we go back to configuration, which I seem to have lost here. Okay, so let's go back to configuration. We go to our switch, so we could say basically if we are on subsite 1, which we could do by going to homepage, grab this pattern, and so if we are on subsite 1, any page beyond this, we can say with a star character, so this is the wildcard, so any page beyond this should use our new theme here. So actually I have to reload this page in order for that to load in there. So let's do that again. Give us this new theme that we installed, and all the roles are fine. Let's enable this rule, and let's save the configuration. Let's see what happens here. So now, if I were to go home and I were to click on the subsite 1, let's see, looks like we misconfigured something here. And let's set this for all roles. Set that for all roles, and if we were to come here, interesting. Select none to select all, that's what we want. Select none to select all, sure. Maybe we need a / here. Okay, cool. So that was it. So important note, you need to start your paths with a / in order for them to work. But now we have our new theme working for sub-theme pages. So anything after this section here will have this new kind of page structure. And we can go over menus in a second, but just wanted to show that real quick. We could also add another theme for subsite 2, so we could grab this kind of pattern here, and we could say subsite 2 has a completely different theme. Let's enable this. Well, actually, we'll have to reload this, because let's go find another theme. So we don't want this theme for this second page. Maybe we want something like the business time theme. So we'll come in here. We'll grab this theme from Drupal.org. We'll come to our project. We'll just download and enable this so we can use it. And Save that. Okay. Oh, no release history for business time. Interesting. So this might be okay. So this is only available for Drupal 7. We're on a Drupal 8 website, so that's not going to work for us. Let's go back. Let's look for something else. I mean, I have no idea anything about this project, but let's take a look here. Make sure there's a Drupal 8 release. Okay, there looks to be. So let's just grab this and use this in our example. Okay, so we've enabled that. Now if we go back to our site here and we reload this page here, we should be able to add another entry now, and we should be able to select the new theme that we just enabled. So let's save this, and now if we were to come to our website, wherever it may be, and go back to our site, if we were to go to the first one, we'll get this broken the theme did not seem to enable correctly. Okay, well, let's try a different theme, I guess. Let's come in here. Let's go to our theme switcher. Let's just do another one of the default. So we're using Bartik for the main thing. Let's use something like 7, which I think will be a pretty minimal theme for this. And now let's try this again. We'll reload this. Okay, so 7 is also the admin theme. So it looks like the admin theme here, but maybe that wasn't a good choice. Let's try. Class will be very bare bones, I believe. Let's try that just to see what it looks like so we can see the difference. Reload this page. We're now going to see classy. Okay, it's a very bare bones theme. Looks just like text. Let's see if we can get one more example. One that works without breaking and illustrates kind of our thing here. This one page portfolio theme. Maybe this will work for us. Let's see what we got here. Okay, let's just give this a shot. See what we can do here. Grab this. Enable it. Okay, we'll come back to our page. Let's reload this. Let's choose our new photographer theme. Hopefully this enables without any errors. We'll see in a second. Okay, wow, look at this. Okay, so this is our other theme. So now if we were to switch between these two pages, you'll notice that they have two different themes. So we have this theme for Subsite 1, and we have this theme for Subsite 2. We could go and we could start creating additional pages here. So you notice we have home. This will actually take us back to the main website, but we can change those menu options. So let's go through and take a look at that real quick. So where are these menu options set? So there's a couple things going on here. We have the menu and we have the block. So there is a main menu that we're setting these links on. So we have the home, and we'd probably have a bunch of other links. So for instance, we could just say, we could say something like Subsite 1. We'll call it Subsite 1, and we'll just say the link is Subsite 1/home page, because that's our alias for that. We could save this, and then we could actually, so now we have that. Let's actually add one more here. Let's just edit the menu again. Let's add a link for Subsite 2 and give it the Subsite 2/homepage. Homepage, okay. Save that. Now we have, in our main theme, we have these links up here to switch between themes, right? So we can come here, and we could actually go and we could switch to our other subsite here, as you see, and you notice, so we could switch between the two subsites and go back to our main home website. But now you may be thinking, okay, well, that seems a little weird. We have, the main site, which probably has our main content, and then we probably want our own navigation for the subsite, right? Yeah, that makes sense. I'm with you on that. So this is all set in your block settings. So you can configure this individual block here, but let's go and look at the structure of the blocks right now. So on the block layout, you'll see here that we have, first of all, you can set the block structure and layout based on the regions that are defined in each individual theme. So we have our Bartik theme, which is our main website, and then we have this theme, which is our Subsite 1, and this theme, which is our Subsite 2, and we can set a different block layout for each of these. So one thing we might want to do is, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's go to our structure here, and let's create new menus for those subsites. So the main nav which has our subsite links. This is going to be in our main theme, and then we're going to create two new menus. We're going to say subsite1 nav, and we'll just call it sub1, and we'll save this, and we'll just add links. We'll say, I don't know, we'll just call this test link, and we're not going to send it anywhere right now. We'll just give it the replacement pattern up front. I believe that works, and we'll save that, and we'll give it another link, test link 2. We'll say that goes to the front as well, and we'll save that. And let's go back to our menus. Let's actually create one more for subsite 2. So subsite 2 nav sub 2, save it, and let's say now we want different link. They're all just going to go to the home page of the main website right now, but you could obviously make internal navigation. We'll do that in a second just to demonstrate it. Which that on, and very different link. Set this to the front. Okay, save this. All right, very cool. So now, if we go back to our block layout and our structure here, so if I were to go to this different theme here, so you notice that we have our main navigation in the primary menu here. So one thing we might want to do is we might want to just come down here, and actually, let's see, if we come up to primary nav, we can place a block, and let's look for menu here. Let's look for sub. Okay, so subsite nav 1. So this is corresponding to the menu we just create. So let's place this block of subsite nav 1, and let's make sure that this only appears on pages with our URL pattern. So subsite 1 star. Anything after this menu will appear in this block section for this theme. This is not really necessary because the only place we're using this theme is, the only place we're placing this block is in this specific theme, and this theme is going to use that navigation. So that's not really a big issue here, but just to show you the general practice, this will show where this block will appear based on the page. You can also restrict it by something like the content type or the roles and things like that. But for now, this should suffice. So we'll place that block here. That looks good, and that's been saved. And then we're gonna go to our main navigation, and we actually we don't want this main navigation to appear on the subsite anymore. So if we go to the pages, so we want to hide for listed pages. So this is definitely the more important part, but we want to hide this for subsite 1. We could actually completely remove this block. That might be the better thing. Well, let's hide it first, and I can show you removing it. But you would hide this for every subsite 1 page and every well, we don't have to do that on this theme again. You could hide it for subsite 2 pages, but this configuration is corresponding to this theme specifically. You can just manage this as well in the other theme that is specific to subsite 2. So let's save this. Okay, now if we go back to our page and let's reload this, let's go to our subsite 1 now. If we were to look at the menus here, okay, so now we have test link 2 and test link. So if we come up here, and this isn't styled anymore because it's not using the main nav, but we have these test links instead of that other navigation that used to be there. That was a little nicer because it was themed, but hey, that's where we're at right now. And let's go over here and let's take a look at, okay, so this is what, used to have this nice theme because it was using the other theme. You could theme this as well to make this look nice like that as well. Now, if you were to come over and look at the other page here, nothing should be really going on there yet. So you have this, you have the main nav here still, but let's go and configure those settings here as well. So let's come in here and do our block layout. Let's go to our photographer theme. Let's come in here. First of all, I'll show you removing this. So let's remove the main navigation from the primary menu, right? So if we come here and we just remove it, remove this block, you're going to notice this menu is going to go away completely, right? So we have the home, subsite 1 and 2 right now. If we reload it, okay, we have no menu there because we removed that block. That's fine. Don't worry too much. If we go back to the home page, that menu still exists because it's configured for that home theme, right? It just was removed from our Subsite 2 theme. Now come in here and let's actually place some new menu in the primary menu section. So Subsite 2 now, let's place this block. And again, we could restrict the page type. We don't really need to worry too much about this because we're not setting this on our other theme. So let's just place this block. It's a little simpler to do it that way. Sorry for going too complicated and unnecessarily complicated earlier, but if we now take a look at this, and you see our titles here, so let's configure the block a little bit. Let's say, okay, we don't want the title displayed, and let's save that. Okay, so now we have different link and very different link. Okay, that's great. We don't have the Subsite links anymore. And those look okay. They're following the general theme of what this was. That's good. Okay, so you can come back here and you can see, Subsite 1, Subsite 2. You come over here, you have the different links that we added there. And for instance, over here we have the different links as well, although they're not themed and they don't look very nice. They are there as well. But we might want to hide this title, see what happens here. Hide that. Okay, yeah, these have to be themed a little bit, but that's okay. So now, what we could do is we could come in here and start creating different pages. So for instance, let's go to our content section and let's add more Subsite 2 content. So Subsite 2, and we'll say about us page. We'll create that, and then maybe we come into actually first let's grab that path. So about us, and let's add this to our menu here. So let's edit the menu. Say different link becomes about us. Save this. And now we have, okay, let's reload this. They don't want the save message. So we have the main page, right? And then we have an about us page. And there's not much content here, obviously, but we could edit this and we could add some content, right? So about us. This is the about us page content. We'll save that. Okay, so you can see how we can start creating separate navigation specific to this website, right? And the URL path was automatically created, right? So if we go to About Us, we have Subsite 2 About Us. It automatically happened, and because of this pattern here, it is automatically picking up on this theme, and it's something that we can use right out of the box. And we could do that for a whole different set of navigation up here to make this quick little subsite a different look and theme, a different navigation. Obviously, this is a quick demo, and there'd be a lot of changes that would go into making this production ready, but you can kind of get the picture of how you would set that up. And it doesn't touch or mess with any of your main site. You can have your own navigation there and do everything as standard on your regular website.